When the spot-on activity first starts executing, of course its onCreate method is going to get called to set up the activity, but part of the startup of the activity is also a call to its onResume method, which, as you know from the previous video, calls our resume method in the SpotOnView, and that in turn is going to call resetGame, assuming of course that no dialog is displayed, which would be the case when the game is first starting to execute. So let's take a look at our resetGame method here, which is going to clear out the spots and animators collections. It's also going to remove all the views in the lives linear layout so that we can start from scratch and place 3 lives into that linear layout at the beginning of the game. We reset our animation time to the initial animation duration, and that amount of time decreases during the course of the app's execution. We reset spots touched, score, and level. We say that the game is not over, and we call our utility method display scores to display the various text pieces on the screen. Next, at lines 175 through 180, we repeatedly add the lives to the lives linear layout, and we do that by calling add view on that linear layout. Remember that we defined lives to have the value 3, so initially the user has 3 additional lives to work with, but of course you could change the value of that constant if you wanted to customize the game to have more or fewer lives initially. Now what we do here in add view is simply pass the result of inflating a layout directly to the add view method. So layout inflator dot inflate is going to inflate the specified XML file, in this case life.xml, and we simply take the image view that's returned and add it to the lives linear layout. Then at lines 183 and 184 we schedule with our spot handler some calls to the add spot runnables run method. So basically add spot runnable is a variable to which we've assigned an anonymous inner class that implements the runnable interface, and we want to execute that runnables run method every I times spot delay milliseconds for the number of initial spots. So basically, if we say that there's initially going to be 5 spots, which is how we defined the initial spots constant, then this is going to iterate 5 times, and for the first spot it will start half a second into the future. Spot delay is 500 milliseconds. So I is 1, spot delay is 500, so the first spot will be added 500 milliseconds into the future. Then the second spot would be 2 times spot delay, or 1,000 milliseconds into the future, etc., etc. So over the first 2.5 seconds of the game's execution, we will add a total of 5 spots, one after another, with half-second delays in between, and that way the user can get into the game and start playing.